ah, chucking up the deuce.
What up? Good morning.
Going down, huh?
Yeah, it's going all the way down. You
Let
know
me
what I
see if
mean?
volume wise, there's no telling with me. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, that was me. My monitor.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
it's all good.
Yes, sir.
All good out here, my
Yeah,
friend.
yeah, happy Saturday. It's a long weekend for most, you
Yeah,
know.
for some. Yup. Not
Some
for the
people
kid.
some people traveling. I mean, work never stops. We can do it at our own pace over the next couple of days, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt. You
That's
know,
right. That's
but it's
right.
another
Mm-hmm.
holiday
Mm-hmm.
weekend, I guess, for some
Mm-hmm.
out here. It's a little holiday weekend doing our
This
thing.
an it's an anniversary weekend for others as well.
Yes.
Yes,
How
yes.
about that?
Hayward
Wait a minute.
CPA, huh? Hayward
Yeah,
CPA.
that's
12
right.
years. 12 years, huh?
I, I know, I almost forgot. Okay, no, I
Congratulations,
didn't.
man. Yeah, of
I didn't
course you
forget.
did. Yeah,
I didn't forget.
yeah.
Yeah, 12 years, a dozen
12
of these
years.
joints out here, man.
You know what I
We
mean?
doing our thing.
The chicken or the
Can't
egg.
complain about it. I mean, I could give the little 1-2 speech right now, but I think we're gonna get into it because an engagement to attend to.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah,
we this gonna be a rapid pace. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We might have to
yeah.
do a part two. You know how it
Yeah, we're
is.
gonna have to. We can't never really box ourselves in. We don't know which way the conversation
Yeah,
goes.
you
This is
never know.
unscripted. Unscripted,
Oh,
folks. Unscripted.
is it ever? The most unscripted situation you can find out here.
Well, no, not the most, because there's other people doing some really unscripted stuff that's bananas online. But at least we're keeping it, professional, right? We
Well,
trying to
it's the
get it
most one of the
authentic.
most unscripted um accounting
There
feed
you go. There
situations
you
that you'll see. There's some other ones out here, some
True.
good ones too,
True.
but this right here,
Mm,
raw and uncut
mm.
for the people. We like the woo, baby. You know what I'm saying? So, but enough with all that foolishness. so, so the listeners, okay. So, first of all, happy July to everybody. It's
Hmm.
July. I mean, if that means something to you, um, we had. I mean, look, it's a new month, new you. That's the way I look at it. Just like it's a new day, new you. This is what it is. So here we are. 1st of July, 4th of July weekend. It's called Independence Weekend. Arguable. That's a whole nother conversation for a different station, different channel.
Hmm.
But you get a day off on Monday. How about that? Is get a day off on Monday weekend
True.
for some. That keeps
True.
it straight without
True.
getting into deep. So,
Drink a lot of water. It's going to be hot in
oh
most
yeah,
places.
gonna be.
In most
Oh, it
places.
is.
Most
So
places. Yeah.
yeah, man. So what's up?
Yeah. Well, listen. We're not going to just step over this milestone. Of
Oh,
12 years. You know, we come on and we talk about tax and accounting stuff, right? Talk about handling clients. We talk about different scenarios in the world. We talk about what business owners should think about in terms of their business and how to transform, how to grow, how to get resources, how to get their footing in place. Right? We talk about all of that stuff, which is insightful, educational, resourceful. If they call us, we got some resources for them, right, and some services. But 12 years is a big number. Not only 12 years, Hayward CPA been in business. So let me go back a couple of steps. Hayward CPA has been in business for decades.
Yeah, it's a different iteration.
That's right. That's right. So that's not only an accomplishment in and of itself because of dad, your father, but you continuously carrying the torch. But now you're carrying the torch in a different way to be progressive. So, running a business, there's five pillars of running a business, right? And so that's human resource, that's marketing and sales, that's accounting and finance, that's management, that's production. Those are your five cores of running a business. Now, you didn't start the second phase of Hayward CPA 12 years ago with a team. You were all those hats. So what
Yeah.
makes today, you can give me a short script from then to now, but what makes today Hayward CPA the progressive firm that it is targeting to be? What is the differentiator? What makes Hayward CPA Hayward CPA?
Oh, okay. All right. Pretty good question.
I put you
So
on
what
spot,
does
so let's
it's a
go.
pretty good question. Well, so no, well, what does it? First off, you're absolutely correct and agree. I mean, this firm is an extension of my father's work. And around, I think the stated date is 82 when he started practicing on his own.
Mm,
So um, that's 40 years by
yeah,
itself.
yeah.
So during that time, as I joke and I speak all the time, I mean, that's why you have kids, right? So instead of me tilling the field, I'm keying in bank transactions.
Hmm.
So that's what I've done. And it's always been in the background. That's what strangely enough, like in high school, I had planned to go be an accountant. I was going to be an accountant. I was like, "Ooh, look at them accountants make 27,000 coming out of school." I was like, "Yeah, all right, do that." It's all relative though, but my path was a little different education wise.
Hmm.
So go through that. So we'll say for the next volume all the steps between there.
Hmm.
But it's always been in the background. I always was doing work for my father, the same things that I was doing. Um, that it became AOH Business Services. We operated under that. I was always doing something. I was always
Hmm.
doing it, and
Hmm.
all between music industry, the whole nine. I was still always doing it in a way. And then it came a point in life that it was like, wow, I need to stabilize myself some. And got into accounting, went ahead and went for it. Said, okay. He was always saying, hey, get a CPA license, get a CPA license.
Hmm.
Um, so I got the CPA. Now this is really abbreviated. I got the CPA license, but it was a process.
Right,
Don't it wasn't like I went downtown and signed up and I got
right,
it. So it was a whole thing to that. And I always, thanks to him, I was always, I was gonna do my own thing.
hmm,
I'm not built to work for anybody.
right,
It's you know, just
right,
being honest. I'm not. I mean, I'm
right,
probably good a year at most,
right.
like working for somebody. But I'll take an appointment, like an appointment to something.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
All my classmates that are attorneys and maybe going to the political arena, you know, tax advisor, special assistant to the, I'll
Hmm.
let you boy. All right.
Yeah.
So I can do that. But yeah, after I got the license, I was working in private industry, but the path was always to have a firm. So, my father's been a sole practitioner. So I'm looking when I get out, I'm gonna be a sole practitioner. Be here, you know, in this very room. As a matter of fact, hey, I'll have it, do my thing, just do some work and
Hmm.
make my money. As
Hmm.
long as I got it consistent, cap out, be here at the time, be able to meet any kids I had at the bus. I'm
Hmm.
chilling, like
Right.
I'm living at the beach. Well, life circumstances changed left, right. Then you know, I would say that's a small thought process
Mm-hmm.
because even my father, he was sole practitioner, but he did a whole bunch of other things. I
Correct.
mean, well,
Correct.
hustler, man, not need,
Correct.
and mind you, when we use the term hustler, it's not in the trap rap
Correct.
vernacular.
It's
It's
just
like
constant movement. Now,
constant
constant
movement,
movement.
constant
The
muscle.
brain
That's
is moving. The body's moving.
yeah.
Things are happening. Got
You
to
see
pay the bills. Got to
opportunity,
make right. Got to
yeah.
go.
You
We'll
jump
do
on
it. Right.
it. Yeah,
Right.
it's like that. So he was always so it was he was never I was never taught small minded, safe.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so eventually it kicked in. Now the reason how we got there is because really I didn't know how a CPA firm made money. I knew Pops did taxes. We did some write ups, what we call write ups now. I mean, hustler. I mean, I'm like, yes, I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to do a whole lot of tax returns to see the bread that I want to see. Like, I'm talking about a
Mm-hmm.
lot. I'm like, yo, how can I do this? So I'm like, yo, I don't get it. But
Mm-hmm.
what we did, I learned. So I spent time learning about the business. I
Mm-hmm.
just learned,
Mm-hmm.
and learned different things. And my impatience sometimes was a problem, but basically I started understanding because when I worked in accounting, I always been a computer guy. You know, that in fact, that's what I was supposed to do, be a computer scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Till I took the intro course, and then that kind of went away.
Right.
But as a computer scientist, and so I always believe, I'm like, why are we doing stuff the hard, stuff still even then, like it
Mm-hmm.
seemed like in accounting was always the tools were being introduced, and accounting was always not trusting the tools. So we're
Right.
still doing things the hard way. We
Right.
still are, by the way. I mean, just incidentally. So my whole
Right.
thing was like, oh, okay, we got these tools. We gotta learn to use them to make life easier, new capacity. And then, as I progressed, my parents were getting older. My moms, started developing dementia. So I was like, man, I started going back and forth. And I was like, yo, I gotta be able to work from wherever I am.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, including if I'm at the beach.
Right.
Like, I need to be able to work. This
Right.
is 2015.
Right.
This ain't this,
So you adopted technology before technology was a thing on the outside. Working
oh
from
yeah,
home, I should say, right?
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So because it was a time I only had the office period, like I would get short-term lease, tax season, get the
Gotcha.
office, then move out. I think I did that 2 seasons.
Okay.
Um After I made the my first 2 hires, which was terrifying experience. Um Latasha, who's still with us in the marketing coordinator's role, and well, I call, young Vera, but that's Taja. She was the first admin function.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a thing on entrepreneurship. Yeah, so I put an ad out back then. You like use Craigslist and
Yeah.
not get like weirdos and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
like that. And I interviewed both of them, and I'm gonna leave it or not. So one of them I was gonna hire, the other one was like, man. But then when I looked at the skill sets, I was like, yo, somehow I ended up hiring both of them at the same time.
Okay.
Got no idea how I'm gonna pay them. Like none. I'm like, I'm just like, but something told me like, yo, you know,
You're gonna be all right.
I was just like, yeah. But it wasn't like gassed up. Yeah. It was like you got one talent here and you got another talent here,
Mm-hmm.
and you know,
Now we talk about infusion. How do you infuse that into what you've been doing? So we talk about those 5 core areas, those multiple hats. So
yeah.
okay.
And that's the HR. That's the thing because remember,
Mm,
like I said, I was gonna be dolo, solo dolo,
right.
I-
Right.
whatever. But it did become a point where I was like, man, I need help, and like it's too much. And because and I guess I've had the ability to see like, man, if you're gonna when I learned how the accounting firm would be successful. Like I was like,
Mhm.
okay, this is what we need to be successful. I was like, I need help. So that was the first. That was 2013. So that was 3 years in. I was 3 years in when I made the first official hires.
Okay.
I think I know payroll and everything. I believe. I don't know. I can't remember, but I just don't. I remember
Right.
offering and saying, "Hey, yeah, come on," and not knowing how I was going to pay him. So I had no clue. I mean, we had some stuff. I mean, and that was benefit. The AOH was still going, so we had something. But I remember talking to my father about it, and he kind of saw what that help was because he's had
Mhm.
help off and on. So I
Mhm.
did that, man, and then you know, two wonderful, wonderful, wonderful spirits. We used to have some great debates too. It was interesting. It was like, I mean, it's not glamorous, but it was that, how they talk about these like computer startups and all that in
Yeah.
the early days. It
Yeah.
was kind of like that. They would work
Yeah.
part-time.
Yeah.
They come to the crib like
Yeah.
9 to 12, 9 to
Yeah.
1,
Yeah.
and we doing stuff and building it out. But those were the early days, man. That was cool. So, but to get where we are, that's kind of where it started. Where I
Mhm.
said, okay, I got to be able to be flexible. I have people, I don't, necessarily have office space. Eventually I did after one of the tax seasons. I just got the office space because it was difficult to maneuver with 2 days a month or whatever,
Right.
like wanting to see clients and moving from that. I would have clients come to the house. I would go to
Right.
clients' house and things like that. So
Right.
yeah, move from that, went over there, and then I mean, from there, it was it was on. I mean, in summary, you could say it was on. I mean, it was a lot going on with it, but
Yeah.
it was on, and that's what got here,
Mhm.
so I yield.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So in what I'm hearing you talk about, and dealing with current clients and dealing with the climate of businesses, we've seen an increase in business startups about what was it, 60-something%, 63%. I think the last time we talked about that over the last 2 years of the pandemic, right? So
Mhm,
you're 12 years in, but there's people in there that's less than a year, that's 2 years, that's 3 years. So the struggle never leaves, right?
mm-mm.
And so what is the one thing when you were going through, if you can remember, what was the one thing that you kind of held on to because you had the support of your dad, you knew what it looked like to hustle, you knew what it looked like to do taxes and get some revenue on the back end of that. So you had that kind of built into you from early childhood, right? But
Mhm.
for you wanting to continuously carry the torch, continue the legacy of the firm, however, but make it put your stamp on it. What was the one thing or two things, thought, feeling, whatever, that carried you through to now that told you were going to be okay and that you just had to follow your stages of growth?
Well, I mean, look, this odd channel I'm talking about. It was total faith. So it was total faith. And to get to that faith and buy into the faith, I had to but let me tell you, if these walls could talk, I've had a lot of conversations with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And one
Mm-hmm.
of the earliest uh statements I made to myself was because it was natural. I was coming from a corporate job and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Now I had the CPA license. So I'm like, and I know I could be all right. Part of the reason I left the job, excuse me, part of the reason I left the job was because I knew I was starting to make too much money. And I knew that
Mm-hmm.
at a certain point, it's hard to walk away. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Right.
if you get, some people is, 100K, you start making 100K,
Yeah. And up,
you like,
you're locked in.
that little flame, that entrepreneur flame might be there, but then I'll just do some
Get
stuff on the side.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
because you don't want to give this up. You like,
True.
oh, so
True.
for the first couple of years, of course, I'm looking at the one ads, my gross revenue was like 17 grand. And I'm like, I know I can go get a job. And eventually I had to be like, I'm not going back.
Yeah,
I'm just not
you had
going
to
back.
make a hard decision
Yeah. I said
with yourself.
I had to say, look, stop looking at the ads, stop looking
Mhm,
for a way out, essentially.
mhm.
You ain't going back.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
whatever comes with that, it is. Because if
Right.
you say you want to do it, you ain't going back. And and to stop taking the energy of, you know, don't use that energy to find the exit. Use the energy to stay in what you're doing and get in the present and going up and down. That's like the one thing, and I guess that's the basis for perseverance. No, like I say now, like I'm not going back. Now I'll go back, for opportunity or something,
Right.
but I'm not going back to it,
Right.
and that's why it's still, there's I still have that something could go left or right, and I have to go back. So that's what keeps me
Right.
saying, "Yo,
Right.
I'm not going." Like
Right.
I gotta be diligent, and that's one. And then once you get into that point where you shut the door on going back, what else do you have but faith?
Right.
That's all you got.
Right. And when
You know,
you find when you close that door, you found that there were actually other doors that were opening up to you that you didn't even realize because before you kind of had that door maybe still open?
yeah, that's exactly characterize exactly right. Like when you close the door, heck, I'll say it even better. When you close the door, you gotta keep walking forward without another door being open. You don't know if it's
Mhm.
gonna open. You don't know
Mhm.
if it's gonna open.
True.
You don't know if the light in the tunnel is a opening or a train.
True.
You don't know any of that.
True.
But once you have faith, once you convicted and said, "This is how it's going down,"
Right.
you'll walk, and eventually doors will open, or you'll find a chisel and a hammer to open the door,
Mhm.
and you'll say, "Okay, here I am."
Mhm.
Scary? Yes.
Mhm.
I'm never in here, because we talk about the stuff, and I'm always like, yeah, you gotta, no, I'm not talking rah-rah. Yes, it's scary, it's terrifying. Terrifying. I mean, it's you do it so, but that's where I tell people, I always think, whether you religious or not, you spiritual, we have all these different things going on out here. There's one thing to do the rituals,
Mhm.
go to church, pray,
Mhm.
meditate,
Mhm.
levitate, whatever you got going on,
Levitate.
like that. But it's
Right.
another thing to practice it
Right.
and to sit down where is on the line and be able from that in your inside to say, I'm gonna be okay
Mhm.
one way or the other.
Right.
That's it. So,
Right. Right.
man, that's the type of thing and those are the two things that I say, for anybody in anything. Um, it echoes. I was actually watching a YouTube video of Denzel giving us commencement speech at UPenn, and he touched on some of these same things. I mean, it's not none of us own this commentary.
Right.
It's a fact that when
Right.
you want something and it's not easy, you show it detaching from the matrix, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
When you go down your path, and I haven't always gone down my path with conviction
Right.
that it's not easy,
Right.
but it's not impossible.
Correct.
So the key is it's not easy. And when you take that and say, this is not going to be easy,
Mhm.
but you know what? I'm going to enjoy the difficulty.
Correct. Because it's about the journey.
Oh, it's all about the journey.
Oh,
You gotta love it.
because the journey. I mean, you'd be surprised. As much as it's not easy, as much as the fear is there. On the flip side of that, you run across beautiful opportunities, great people. The satisfying moment of getting through that difficult fear based moment, and you actually came out on the other side. Right. That's
Yeah.
not it though. You still got more to go, but
Oh,
you
for
you
sure.
get your you get your joyous moments along the way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So, all these things to take for your first question. I mean, these are the things that set the table for the difference in the firm
mhm,
because it's coming from that. We're not conventional. Haven't been conventional.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have an accounting degree. I got a sociology degree.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, stop the presses. But yes, I did legitimately pass the CPA exam.
Mm-hmm.
So we by pure nature, we different.
Correct.
And I think that has caused some problems in terms of messaging and working with clients and understanding where we're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also the basis to chart the future. You know, my goal, and I say ours, because we got a very robust team that sometimes every other week, I don't know how I'm paying y'all neither, but I'm dead serious. I'm like, how was it? I just be like, you know, like it goes through it. I'm like, wow, okay. So like that. But is I have strong feelings about small business, and obviously because that, you know, I grew up in it.
Yeah.
But I have very strong feelings about it, and I believe it's not the cure to everything in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's a opportunity to help some of the challenges that we have, specifically in the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
There's an opportunity to do it, but we have to strive to become world class,
Yeah.
and that's difficult, not
Yeah.
easy. So if I take just these 12 years, not to mention the years before that and all my other business endeavors, I can teach that, but I teach it through numbers, through interpreting
Right.
numbers,
Right.
and because that's a fact that we can work with. We
Correct.
can the numbers are the facts.
Mm-hmm.
The interpretation is the assumptions. The hey, what were you thinking? This and that. And that's basically that's at the core of our philosophy with the firm, you know, especially moving forward as we
Mm-hmm.
push to more advisory and more guidance to
Mm-hmm.
get to these different spots. There are plenty of wonderful, outstanding, efficient, heck, better than us firms
Mm-hmm.
that work on compliance. They do tax returns, they do audits, you know, financial statements.
Mm-hmm.
Business gonna be there, it's not going anywhere. But doing that work, which we're good at, don't get me wrong, we're very
Mm-hmm.
good at, but our value is in how we interpret this stuff, and we're able to tell people this is what this means.
Mm-hmm.
This is what this means.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, this is how it's going to reflect on this financial statement, and this is what this means.
Correct. You said one key word, how.
Yeah,
How.
how to
Right.
do it, and
Right.
that's something, as you'll see, you know. I mean, just going, I guess, to the underlying point of it, that yeah, we do 12 years, and I'm thinking about the year we're in now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, a year from now, what what measures am I going to look at to see if we improved
Correct.
over the year? So
Correct.
that's what it comes down to. Period.
Correct.
Everything else, the 12 years, they in the books. Yeah, we going, we celebrate it. I'm proud of it,
Right.
but in my mind, there's more to do. There's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
much
We
more to
hit
do.
12. We got to get to 24. We got to get
But
to
yeah,
48.
yeah, but
Right. Right.
but where I learned is I said, but in order to get there, I gotta get to 13. I
Mm-hmm.
got to get to 12 and a half. I
Mm-hmm.
get to 13. And so what am I doing every day to help the team that I've assembled, the Avengers, just assembled to get to this vision? Am I communicating it enough? Am I clearly communicating to the people that are assisting in this mission, that are part of this mission? Am I doing it? I know it's times I don't. I mean, you know, everybody they laugh at it because they know, and I admit it. I'll be like, yeah. Like the other day, I was
That's
talking
being
to
a leader, but that's being a leader, being able to admit to your core team, communication wise, right? Because your core team can support you, can provide you, can have ideas, and then you like, oh wait, so I'll take this and this and that. Team,
Mhm.
what do you think about this? And that's how you keep moving the ball, right? So,
Yeah. I
that's
mean,
the core of a leader.
yeah. I mean, and that's another point too. When you go in thinking it's going to be just you,
Yeah.
Read nothing on leadership. I'm leading myself. Like I never knew. I don't know what leadership. I didn't even read like what I'm reading CPA books. Man, I have to read about staffing, human.
Yeah.
I don't need to do that.
Right.
And yeah, well, okay. So thank you that it happens, but to an extent, I think not that I'm advocating this, but I think it helped because it made me deal with it. I didn't have a blueprint. Like it was
Right.
just kind of like, how you going to do this?
Right.
Like I didn't. I took a different approach. I was fortunate, but built relationships and be able to get with people and find people. And
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like this is like team one. Once again, we back to that startup. It's like the startup phase this as a team, this is startup era. I mean, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
In 2015, Tanya came. Taja moved on, and Tanya came, and then we worked. I've always known Nicole since because we worked at my last job.
Mm-hmm.
So in and out. So it's like I've been assembling this thing, but now to the structure that we have is it's in its infancy. And
Mm-hmm.
I tell y'all all the time, oh, y'all probably be richer than me anyway, which is fine. I'll be cool with that. But it's like, so there's other iterations of this thing. And I mean, I just we build and gets out from being about me. It ain't about me, but it's about what we can provide and what we can do for small businesses. That's what
Correct.
it comes down to.
Correct.
You
Correct.
know what I'm
Because
saying?
there's a lot of help that is needed out there in the world. A lot of help, and we hear it. We talk to them every single day, and it's the information is daunting. The mindset of the people is daunting, and some people are they're backed into a wall of having to survive on their own, and they even though they have the desires, how do they do it? It's always boils down to how to. So information is out there. Hey, run your business like this. Here's this. Do this. But I think the nucleus is what you're addressing is having faith in yourself and realizing you're gonna have those deep dark nights by yourself. You're gonna have those conversations by yourself. But you understand the foundation of making sure you put one foot in front of another, which is numbers. And so taking all of what you just shared and being able to help guide and advise your clients or the community is the core of what Hayward CPA is. Did I kind of wrap that up, put a bow on it for you? Does that make sense?
Pretty good. Yeah, that was good. You could have just done the whole episode. I could have chilled out.
Nah,
I could celebrate. Sit back, chilling, listen to music.
Well,
Hey,
I,
so,
hey, look,
no,
man,
I'll be back. Come back. The chair just be sitting here. I'm out. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Be like,
you you're too much, man.
I
Listen,
try.
good talk, man. We appreciate it. We're gonna keep this. We just wanted to celebrate the 12 years of the organization, the relationships,
Popping,
the resources that we have,
yeah.
and we're gonna keep it going. We'll have more robust conversations, throughout the year and on those anniversaries again. But we're gonna keep this short because we have some
Got an
Saturday
event.
getting twos to get to.
That's right.
And was there any last words or last commentary from you, Mr. Hayward,
Of
CPA?
course. Yeah, of course. But we got to leave. Nah, I'm just kidding. No, it's very important. I mean, I just want to say to the team whenever they see this, because I think y'all be sneaking in watching it different
Mm-hmm.
times. I am immensely, immensely, immensely grateful and happy to have such a great group of people that cover up my you know my fallacies. That's one. And two, I mean, I believe that we could, we're doing something special. Our intent is to do something special when we get, as we keep building things to be where they are. It's gonna I think it's gonna be really good. Our intent, like I get excited thinking about the process of building something and really helping other people build, and that's the trajectory of the firm moving forward. And we trying to advise, we trying to do it. My father's been doing it for years. We're just trying to codify it in a way, you know, and try to, you know, we talk about it. So we're not gonna get into a clinic about how that works, but
Right.
you know, to really, hey man, look, this is because it's we're dealing with another underserved population, but this underserved population isn't necessarily in poverty. It's very, you know, talented, intelligent people that this information just doesn't make it, has not historically hasn't made it to the community.
Correct.
And that, so is it perfect right now? No. I mean, it's kind of ugly, but hey, that's our intent. So, you know, people, there's a few people out here mad at me, but it's okay. I sleep at night.
They may not be mad at you though. I you know, I don't agree with that. I think they you know, a lot of people get mad at themselves because
I know, but you know, I'm from that hip hop thing, man.
I get you. Oh yeah, but that's surface stuff, man. People are only mad at themselves and they project it because they don't want to actually take the initiative to get over their own idiosyncrasies to have betterment. But that's the balance of the world. Everybody can't be friends because if you have everybody as your friend, you're missing something.
Yeah.
Right. So
well, it's you know, that's part of growth though. That's
true.
That's part of it. Where you like, yeah, I mean, you do kind of, at one point in time, you're like, I don't want any, you know, I don't want any smoke. Then some people want the smoke. They want all the smoke. And some people, the smoke just floats right over them. Whatever. Like so, or they float over smoke. So yeah, that's where we are. But I like this format. You know, get me run my mouth, and in a structured way.
There you go.
You know, I yeah, look for more stuff or whatever, but hey man, I'm good. You know, it's like I do the sign off. So, you know, but check out our YouTube channel and sign up, subscribe. We're going to have, like all these other people, we're going to put great content out for you. I'm saying, no, look, I want to shout out Draymond Green. This is just a side because I'm used. No, I love Draymond Green, but I love his podcast. Like I just like because he just I enjoy listening to him talk. But anyway, go get some of this content. So hit the notification too, so you know when it's coming out. But we're gonna have more than the live streams coming out. A lot of we want to get to some explaining videos, answer your questions, kind of build like a video encyclopedia of some of this stuff we're talking about, so that you can learn. And I mean, you know, you may get help to implement, but we want you to learn. And you know, check us on YouTube. No, what else we on? We're on Facebook,
YouTube,
we on
LinkedIn today.
Yeah, we're there, but sign up, be a part. I mean, we're a resource for you. This is probably the more affordable way for you to be a part. Because once you call in, you talk to that guy. Things change. Yeah, you talk to him, the rates go up. So, and then Fat Joe says, you know, yesterday's price. It's not today's price.
It's all about the results over here. It's the results.
Yeah,
you know, we getting business owners to the next pylon.
Yeah. No, I'll talk about the goals. You know, I mean, I have a specific goal, just personal goal around that. So
yeah, true.
We're not gonna talk about that today because I'm getting hungry. So you got like, you know, we got to do our thing. So
cool.
That's that. And you know how to reach out on any social networks if you had any questions, concerns, comment, you know, feedback. You know, I mean, you know, stuff going on in your life. You just want to talk to somebody. K-Tastic is pretty good at that. So, hey, don't forget the Biz Therapy coming real soon. The Biz Therapy podcast is going to be wild. Hosted by this guy. It's going to be wild. So, but very entertaining. All right. So we out. It's good. Yeah, we at our marker. I'm hitting the button. We gone. All right. Then. Later.
Have a good one.